So, for Connecticut Public Radio, today we have Cassia Walton, the director's assistant, the trainee assistant director, the production assistant, the production trainee, the production intern, the producer's assistant, the personal assistant, the third assistant director, the assistant set director, the assistant set dresser, the camera trainee, the cast assistant, the assistant costume coordinator, the assistant costume buyer, the costume production assistant, costume props assistant, background / extras costume assistant, post-production runner, post-production assistant, stills photographer, stills assistant, behind-the-scenes videographer, and most importantly, a really great environmentalist YouTube blogger.
Oh, God.
I know, that was a long intro
You're really
for
good from me.
I'm trying.
I'm definitely not all those things. When I was signing up to crew list, I thought I can do all these things, and then I just ticked all the boxes.
Yeah.
But, that's interesting that you found that. Nice.
Yeah, I tried to do the deep dive like I was saying before, but first question, I ask every single person I've ever interviewed 2 questions. And the first one to ask is, Miss Walton, how are you doing today?
Today I'm doing very good. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's my first day in Queenstown. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Nice, all right. And the vibe of Queenstown for, say, the Americans that have no concept except it's such a beautiful place where you're living. What is the habitat like there?
The habitat, Queenstown it's quite a outdoorsy town. There's a lot of skiing.
Yeah.
There's really the best skiing, snowboarding in New Zealand here. And then there's lots of really, really beautiful hiking as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of international people come here to work and just to do the outdoorsy stuff. And yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Nice. All right. So beautiful places. One of the things that I was just speaking with you about is episode 1 of your video series is a treat to watch. And I wanted to ask you, how often do you go on solo trips? And are there any places you haven't been that you would like to go to, or any favorite spots you have stumbled into so far?
Mm-hmm. I go on solo trips quite a bit. One thing that I didn't really make a video about, but was I did a van trip by myself around the South Island of New Zealand for about 3-4 months, which was really good. Places, I think I'm very privileged to live in New Zealand. There's so many really beautiful places, but I think one of my favorites was going to, I think it's called Mount Cook, or I forget the Māori name, and it's just this big snowy volcano in the middle of the South Island, and you can do hikes and stuff around there, and that was really, really beautiful. I got that on a no cloud sort of day.
Nice.
And then was it where I'd like to go?
Yeah. Maybe 2 or 3 spots where you're like, man, I haven't been to Antarctica yet, but I gotta go.
Yeah. I'd love to go to Antarctica for sure.
Okay.
I'd love to go to Portugal. I'd love to go to South America. I don't know. I kind of want to go everywhere, but definitely Antarctica would be very cool as well.
Yeah, no, I don't know why that popped up in my head, but I'm Portuguese, Scottish, and Polish, and my grandparents insist on me going to Portugal at some time. It's supposed to have the best food ever.
Yeah, interesting. I'm also part Portuguese as well. small part, but yeah, that's kind of why I want to go there.
Cool. Yeah. So going off of places where you'd like to go, one place that the 6 billion or so people all have in common, we live on Earth. And your Dear Earth is a video essay that I thought was terrific. And yeah, it's that. You got to do more. There's like 3 or 4 videos, and I was scrolling through like, what the hell, man? There's got to be more. But do you still combat the instant gratification of social media with our loving Mother Earth? And if so, Cassia, how often is the digital world a struggle for you to swim out of? Because it seems like your family, friends, the garden is a sweet place to start.
Yes. Like, so, sorry, go over the question again, just so I've got it in my...
No. In the video, you had this great line talking about the instant gratification of social media, and there's shots of you on your bed slumped over like, oh, man. And I guess what I'm asking here is, how often do you struggle sometimes, whether it's with your art or just getting sucked into social media, trying to, go outside, see your family? How much time would you spend on social media, and how do you combat wasting your life in the digital world?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I struggle with that a bit. Like, it's just because social media is such an easy thing to, like, escape reality, whether you're, feeling intense things or whatever, or you're procrastinating, working on a project or something like that. So, yeah, I think I definitely still do that a bit, and something that I try to do is just try to delete all the apps that kind of distract me. Or I used to have a brick phone, or like a really crappy one, so that I don't really want to go on it. Yeah, but it's so easy and it's so addictive, and it's, it's, for everyone it's like that. And I think it's kind of cursing. In a way, it's amazing for creativity and sharing your creativity and stuff like that, but it's also, can be also hindering it because you're not spending it, like you can be procrastinating or not spending as much time as you could be on your projects and things that you want to do. Did I answer that?
Yeah, the only anecdotal thing is I love the segment about your family friend's garden. And,
oh, yeah.
Like, how often do you escape to that? Because that interview was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that. I made that in high school, actually. So quite a few years ago now.
Wow.
It's... Yeah, I mean, not too often to Fab's garden. It's a fabulous garden, and I love Fab's, but I now live away from all my friends and my family friends and family. But how often did I do that? I think, I don't know, just whenever I can, really. And when I'm home, being with childhood friends or family friends, or family. But when I'm in Auckland, which is where I live now, I love spending time with my friends, especially my flatmates, because they're very, very like awesome creative people as well, which I'm very lucky to live with such cool people, and they inspire me a lot.
Nice. Okay, so Fab's fabulous garden, and you got some terrific flatmates. I mean, I'm really hitting you with the YouTube questions, but this is the last one, and I'll stop because, in high school, yeah, okay. But verbatim, this quote, I think real change will come when people start realizing being environmentally conscious doesn't mean being perfect. It's about the little things you do. So without, prying into way too much of your life, but what are some of the little things you recommend people do?
Yeah, I think it can be kind of on and off, and again, it's not about being perfect, like what I said, but little things that I do and like to do is just trying to, and I'm not as good as that now, but it kind of comes on and off. But anyways, just trying to buy as least like plastic as possible. There's lots of really good like zero waste stores that are not too expensive. You just take your own containers and you fill them up, which, you know, eliminates a lot of plastic and stuff. But yeah, and I think just being conscious of your travel and conscious of the things that you're putting your money towards is important. But then it's, I think, protesting and like, yeah, just making sure that you're trying to get your voice heard. You're doing actions towards, you know, getting the people the big dogs who like, you know, make the actual decisions, like trying to influence them and trying to get them to hear you, which is not always easy because they're kind of focused on the money and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
All right, great answer there. And then if we're talking about the big dogs, next thing I want to talk about will be the little kittens. So been doing a little bit of research now. I'm getting borderline creepy here, but I stumbled into a long-lost New Zealand newspaper article. So, Cassia, by any chance, have you lost a gray tabby cat named Mia? If this is true, how did you get her back?
That's a really good story. You really did your research.
Tried it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yes, I did lose my cat when I was like 12, I think. She was a bit wild, and she would kind of often go on like little missions, hunting missions, and like that time when that article was written, she went on a little excursion. She was away for like, I think she was away for like a month, and she was found by this woman who was on this. It was high up in the mountain tops, like way down the coast. And this woman was doing some like weeding things, or I don't know, something to do with something environmental. And she found our cat, and then she took it to the vet, and yeah, it was just kind of crazy, like how she got there, and she was totally fine, like she was fully fed. She's a good hunter, and then we got her back. But yeah, that was an interesting time. She was a good cat, though.
I'm glad she was a good cat. And then that's, when I looked up Cassia Walton, it's breaking down pretty much 3 different things. One, this young girl lost her cat. It's very sad. And I was like, this can't be her. And then I see 2014. I'm like, okay, maybe. You, the photographer with those 23 different job things that I just said. And then there's a Playboy model that had the same name. And I was like, that isn't you, right? No.
I can't talk about that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not in this interview.
All right, then some of these questions I will maybe cut out. But how did you end up working for Jade Jackson? Some of the photos I have seen from the cast of Raids are terrific. Oh, cool! Thank you. Yeah.
That one was. I have a good family friend. She knew Jade. Jade is such an awesome filmmaker. But yeah, she was. My family friend said to Jade, like, you need a photographer for stills because it's really helpful for publicity. And so I went and did that, and I met Jade, and now she's still a good friend of mine, and it's a really important kind of touchy message for the film. So I was really happy to be a part of that. But and then I didn't expect it, but then my photos were in a magazine in the US called Pacificus, and then it was in a magazine called M2 Woman, and then another one here in Aotearoa called Nelson Magazine, which was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think you're definitely an artist that's all about helping spread, whether it's a collaborator's message or a friend's message. And I think I stumbled into your work, Cassia, when a wise person once said, "Sex doesn't sell, voyeurism does." How do you feel about my prior statement, and would you ever photograph it on a T-shirt?
I definitely would.
Yeah.
That was a funny, cool little internet happening there. But my friend Skinny, who's one of the people that I live with, one of my good friends. She had her clothing brand on that was her top that she made on Chloe Cherry, which I was very proud of her, and I was going through liking comments, and I was like supporting her, and I liked your comment. Yeah,
I think that's how this all started, and I'm probably, after rent this month, I think I'm going to buy that shirt.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't own a tank top, amazing. So it'd be my first tank top.
She sells like the creamy fabric, and then she sells the tank tops and I think t-shirts as well.
Cool. All right. I'll look into international shipping. But speaking of really cool stuff to wear, and especially now today, you've got a thing for ravishing jewelry, especially necklaces. Where do you usually find your jewelry, and do you have a favorite piece? Is it maybe that cross that you brandish so much on your other page?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I usually just thrift. I thrift all my clothes, and that's another environmental tip that I forgot, but buying things secondhand. But yeah, I thrift all my clothes and all my jewelry and stuff, so I just get it from the op shops. Yeah. Cool. What was it?
Well, yeah, for us, we have Salvation Army and Goodwill.
Yeah.
You have those too?
We don't have Goodwill, but we have the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just your favorite piece, if you had to, or maybe even you're going thrifting, you're looking for 1965 Bob Dylan records, which I'll get to in a second, or something that you're really keen on. Did you ever have like a favorite thrift shop find?
Find Eva?
Eva, yeah.
That's really hard because I feel like I've found quite a lot of good stuff. I think maybe recently I found this and I wouldn't buy like for new, but I'll buy it second hand. And I found this real, I think it's rabbit, and it's so soft. It's like this vest, and it's got this big poofy hood. And I found that, and that was like $9, which was very cheap. So that's definitely one of the good ones. Yeah. I usually wait about necklaces or anything.
Yeah, I screwed up my own question. I said ravishing jewelry, but I meant to say ravishing necklaces. But yeah, your other page. I can't think of the name of it. What is the name of it?
Who's Cassia?
Who's Cassia? Yeah, you have this cross. It's like long all the way down to like your belly, and I thought it looked really, really cool. If that was from a thrift.
The black one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely... I don't know where that is at the moment.
All right.
That's definitely one of my favorites. But I also got this other cross necklace from the op shop. And it's like even longer than that one, and it's like a rosary chain. So it kind of comes together and then it comes down. And it's like blue and gold. I think I like that one even more than the black one, but I also don't know where that one is at the moment. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You either lost them at the Playboy shoot we can't talk about, or maybe someone stole them or something.
I don't know. It could be either of those.
All right.
It's just unfortunate. Yeah.
So moving on then, you put up a post a while back labeled "Good Friend." Oh shit. You put up a post a while back labeled "Good Food and Friends for the Soul." What are some of your favorite foods, and who are some of your best friends?
Okay. Favorite foods. It's a hard one.
Start with the basics. Do you like clementines?
You mean mandarins?
Shit. Yes, I do. Yeah, do you like mandarins? Yeah. Whoa.
No, is that what you call them in the US?
No, there's a different kind. There's clementines and mandarins. Yeah, you just sniped me from miles and miles away. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we have clementines in New Zealand. Okay. Oh, we maybe do, but I don't know.
Okay.
But I do like mandarins. I don't know. I do love fruit. I love mangoes. Those are really good, and watermelon. And I love hummus. I really love hummus.
Yeah.
And I love potatoes in any way, like fried mostly, chips. Yeah, I don't know. And I do really like bread and stuff, but I can't eat it because I'm like celiac, so that's unfortunate. And then my best friends, I would say definitely the girls in my flat are some of my best friends, which is Mia, Skinny, Lily, and then my childhood best friends, Georgia, and then Lauren's one of my best friends.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. I'm probably missing people, but yeah.
I wanted to ask this like 10 minutes ago. I didn't know if it was, I didn't hear it, but is your friend's name Skinny?
Huh?
Your friend's name is
Skinny.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That is it's a gangster name.
Yeah.
I guess the next question I should ask. Now we're kind of getting to, I guess, the Cassia Walton After Dark segment. What do you enjoy about filmmaker, artist, and Julian Donkey Boy heartthrob Werner Herzog?
Werner Herzog. What do I enjoy about Werner Herzog's filmmaking?
Sure, anything, whatever comes to mind.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh, okay. To be honest, I'm not that well versed in Werner Herzog's filmography. I actually haven't watched that much of his stuff, but a friend of mine, a filmmaker friend, lent me a book of his, which is really interesting. I read it a while ago. I can't even really remember it, but he would talk about his childhood and he just made films from such a young age and was just so vivacious with it. Yeah, he's a cool man. I definitely need to explore more of him though.
Yeah. Have you heard or seen Julian Donkey Boy at all?
No.
You should check it out. It's this Harmony Korine movie that, for whatever reason, he wanted Herzog to be the actor in it, and it's a weird one. It's pretty weird.
Okay, I'll write it down.
All right, so going from filmmaker friends, the next segment is a recent one. I just started doing this with Whitest Kids You Know co-creator, the director of the film Barbarian, Zach Kreger. Cassia, would you like to play a game of Kill, Marry, Fuck?
Sure.
As he went like this, you're like, sure, of course.
No, sure.
All right, yes. Yeah, there you go. All right, just adjusting the scarf. So here we go. Kill, Marry, Fuck. Don't Call Me Creepy. Emile Hirsch and Into the Wild. 1965, Bob Dylan while playing a harmonica, or Vincent van Gogh and his gray cowboy hat.
Okay. This is a tough question. About this. I do love Emile Hirsch and Into the Wild, and Bob Dylan. Love Bob Dylan. And, Vincent van Gogh is a great artist. I will probably kill Vincent, unfortunately.
Wow.
Sorry to him. And I will... I'm really thinking about this. Like, it's,
Bob Dylan, 65, and Emile Hirsch. This is great. The guy from The Girl Next Door. Yeah.
I think I'll marry Bob Dylan and fuck Emile Hirsch.
All right.
Yeah.
She went with fucking Emile Hirsch, and she will be marrying Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Good answers there. Plus, if you're killing Van Gogh, he already got his ear cut off, so just one more stab is fine.
That's right.
I mean, a nice baton handoff here. How much has your father influenced the way that you take photographs? His shots of 2009 Spain are terrific.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. He was never really a photographer, but he always has had a really good creative eye. He does more like architecture, but he's just... I think the way that he's influenced me is just he's always told me to like follow my heart and follow my creativity and pursue it. And sorry, there's a big car going past.
That's okay.
Yeah, just always to follow my heart and follow my creativity. And he always told me to just do everything to excellence, no matter what you're doing, and do what you love, and a success will follow if you're doing your best and you're doing what you love. So in that way, I've kept pursuing photography and filmmaking, and I think that's how he's influenced me, and he's always encouraged my creativity.
That's awesome, because I remember when I was first getting in contact with you, and I should have taken down the note, but one of the things you talked about was that as long as the artist is being true to themselves, then in a way that it is, that's their success. And that kind of seems like what your father was saying.
Yeah.
So with that as a jumping off point, you put up a video of you and your mum that is truly adorable in a world where most women dread turning into their mothers. Is that the case for you? Because she seems like a complete doll.
Yeah, she is a complete doll. I was literally just thinking today, if I age like my mother, I'll be doing well.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't. I'm definitely not scared of turning into my mother, because my mom is a beautiful human being. She's very loving, very giving, very understanding. She's very hardworking and very encouraging. So if I'm like her when I'm older, I'll be lucky. So yeah.
And then that was a great answer too for both the parents. But in that video, you're talking earlier about your love for hummus. That spread that you guys had, there was so much hummus. I was like, what is going on here? Did you do that, or she put that together?
Pardon?
Did you put together that spread, or was that your mom's doing?
Oh, we both did. We both love hummus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Then it runs in the family.
Yeah.
Right.
It runs in the family.
So being so hummus conscious, this next, we got 2 more questions, and I will let you go do some cool stuff. But your portrait of Rune series, a.k.a. with Rune Benzon, is a terrific trifecta of black and white stills, especially the ones where she's flexing her armpit hair. I don't really have a question here, but tell us, the listeners, what it is like, or what it was like to shoot her, and describe for the folks at home the intimacy of photographing someone that you care for.
Yeah. Well, Rune is a friend of mine. She's a lovely, lovely girl, and she's a model. She's very beautiful. Yeah, with that shoot, she came around to my house, and I had a backdrop, and we're just shooting in front of my bed on the big window. yeah, I think like with any shoot, my aim is to make sure that the person I'm shooting feels really comfortable, feels beautiful, feels like very confident in what they're wearing and their makeup, or that kind of look, because I think it really translates into the photos. And also, it's just important for me that they have a good time. So that's just what that was like. We tried on stuff from my wardrobe before we shot, and then I already had things that I was thinking, but we were just trying things on and what she liked. And yeah, and then I just did the shoot, and yeah, it turned out really, really well. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm glad it turned out well. And where you're at in life now, is there a dream project that you've always wanted to do, or something that you have on the back burner that hasn't come to fruition yet?
Yeah, definitely. I am writing a short film that my current goal is to get that produced and to direct that. Yeah, so hopefully maybe later this year, but I just have to finish the script, which is like the hardest part, because it's writing about something personal about my life, kind of about my life. Yeah, so that's the next dream, the next goal.
Nice. I just sold my first screenplay, actually, and it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a short film too, which is, now you're getting creepy on me, but it's a personal piece, about relationships and different stuff. And then just to ask, what is this short film about?
Yeah, so it focuses around mental health, and kind of one girl's struggle mostly with disordered eating and depression and stuff like that. And it's just kind of about her relationship with her mother and her relationship with herself, and there's a loud ass helicopter.
Yeah, that was a loud ass helicopter. Yeah.
And it's kind of detailing her relationship with her childhood self, and her future self, and kind of connecting back to that childlike spirit of you're very innocent and you're naive, but you look at the world in such a different way to when you're an adult, and you look at yourself in a different way and the people around you, and it's quite a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about. But I haven't finished it yet, so who knows about.
Yeah, but you will, and then we'll do another interview, and I think that's a great idea, and thank you for bearing your soul there. Very, very, be good at PR. But then, last question, I've asked everyone 2 interviews. I ask everybody 2 questions every interview I've ever done. How you doing today? And this one, which I'm pretty sure you can give me as much detail as possible, but Cassia Walton, describe in as much detail as possible your ideal perfect breakfast. Like me, I know you're a big fan of banana on toast.
I do like banana on toast. My ideal breakfast. I think. I don't get asked these kinds of questions very often. Ideal breakfast is, I think, with my family or my friends, and I love a good smoothie and some pancakes and maybe some avocado on toast. That's so white girl basic of me, but I like it. What else? I don't know. Yeah, That's probably it.
That's it? No coffee or tea? Maybe orange
I don't
juice?
drink coffee.
Really?
No.
Nice, okay.
I have tea sometimes, but not that often.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm having a cup of tea right now, but now I kind of wish I had some pancakes with some strawberries and a few bananas. But
Yeah,
that's
very good.
that's all I have for you, Cassia, and I don't want to take up all your time and stuff, but thank you for making this interview happen, because I know I dropped the ball one time with timing, and for you to, looking at my clock now, we started this around 8:35. It's 9:19, so thank you for taking like 40 minutes out of your day or more. I'm not good at math, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. 40.
40? Yeah. I'll, if there's anything.
Yeah, about 40.
What?
Yeah, about 40.
About 4. All right. Okay. I don't know how.
Good with me.
Yeah, I didn't know how like mathematically sound you are, but yeah, I just wish you the best, and thank you very, very much for this opportunity today, because I think you're insanely talented, and you should keep up making stuff with your flatmates and having a good time with Skinny. She seems cool.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, she is cool.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, first ever interview, so that's quite interesting. I never expected that, but yeah, it's been good. Thank you for such in-depth questions. You really did your research.